You see that there's a change in the chair's seat. I will be, as Mr. Arsenault asked me as vice chair to replace him. So here are the instructions that I must communicate. Welcome to meeting number 61 of the House of Commons Standing Committee on Official Languages, in accordance with Section 1083 of the House rules and the motion adopted by the committee on April 21st, 2023. The committee is meeting to continue its study on growth of Francophone immigration in Canada. I inform the committee that all witnesses have carried out the required connection test before the meeting. I would like to re-welcome officials from the Department of Canadian Heritage and Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada. From the Department of Citizenship and Immigration, Alain Desruisseaux, Director General, Policy on Francophone Immigration and Official Languages, Olivier Jacques, ADM at Official Languages, Heritage and Regions, and Sarah Boilly, Director General, Official Languages. Given that the officials have already delivered their statements during the last meeting, we will move directly to rounds of questions. Okay, I'll save the rest for the end of the meeting. Before we get started, we carried out sound tests and 3 members did not pass their sound tests and they cannot be interpreted. So if we want to proceed and give them the right to speak, there needs to be unanimous consent so that they can take the floor without interpretation. So we need to decide on this first. Mr. Beaulieu. We in the Bloc Québécois have a policy to require that the interpretation be available for all speakers, so we're not in agreement. So we do not have unanimous consent. We will continue. Now, those people will not be able to take the floor. They will be able to vote if there is a vote, but they will not be able to speak. And I will name the 3 members who unfortunately did not pass their sound test. Madame Gladue, Mr. Serré, and Madame Ashton. So the sound tests were carried out, and the interpreters told us that the sound was inadequate. So I have Ms. Gladue.
Is there an opportunity to work on this?
Excusez-moi, Madame Gladue.
I'm sorry, Ms. Gladue. Unfortunately, I cannot give you the floor because there is no interpretation service and there is no unanimous consent for members to take the floor if they cannot be interpreted. And the same goes for Ms. Ashton. So, Mr. Généreux, given the circumstances, I would like to propose that the meeting wrap up at 10 a.m. because obviously our colleagues, well, Ms. Ashton doesn't seem to be in agreement with that, but she can't take the floor. I will intervene because Ms. Ashton doesn't have the floor. Well, the reality is that we have speeches in the House to give on C13 this morning, so if we have unanimous consent, I move that we adjourn at 10 a.m. Mr. Généreux, can you make a formal proposal, please? I move that the meeting last only 1 hour today from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Any comments on Mr. Généreux's motion? I would like to ask a question. Could we take a few minutes in camera to allow those who can't speak to speak? Is that doable?
Beaulieu, je comprends votre...
Beaulieu, I understand your question, but we need to get to it after we we weigh in on Mr. Généreux's motion. So everyone has the right to vote. So I will tell you, Madame Gladue, Madame Ashton, and Mr. Serré all can vote, but is there unanimous consent? Point of order, Mr. Chair. Mr. Iaconu. Mr. Iaconu, yes. That's what I was trying to say. You have the floor. I just had a comment. It deals with the two comments by my colleagues. Yes, you must start with a motion, but it may be that people don't have the correct headset. And they might be able to, they can't hear through their headset. So if we could let people say something on the functioning of or the unfolding of our committee today, then we could proceed with the motion. Because I don't know what those three people will say, so perhaps it's important to listen so that we can make a better decision. Thank you, Mr. Iaconu. Well, I would inform you that the three members have the necessary equipment. It is their connectivity that is an issue, and that means that their sound does not meet the standards. So I cannot deem whether the level is acceptable or not. It is up to the interpreters, and they are the ones who decided this morning for the three people that identified. So I cannot say any more to that effect. So they do not have the right to take the floor. That's in the procedure. Unfortunately, that is the situation. So, Mr. Drouin, I'm taking the floor with the authorization from Madame Ashton. I understand Madame Ashton can't speak and can't ask questions. She's the only representative of her party. So I don't think that's fair. She won't be able to ask any questions unless the issue of interpretation is resolved. If that is the case, Madame Ashton, yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Drouin. I am sharing the information. I understand that Madame Ashton wants to stop the meeting, but in our rules, we have quorum, and we can proceed without the presence of Ms. Ashton. So I will suspend. We'll try to resolve this. at meeting 61, there were some discussions, and now I'm waiting for proposals from the floor. Mr. Beaulieu, given the situation and that it's the mover of the study who cannot speak to it, and two others cannot either, I think that we move that we push back the meeting with all due respect for our officials who are here today, if there is unanimous consent.
En fait,
Do we need majority or unanimous consent? Is there a consensus? Is there a unanimity? We should vote. Ms. Ashton votes yes. Everyone agrees. Well, sadly, maybe actually, thankfully to our dear witnesses, thank you for your collaboration, and we are adjourning this meeting. Before ending, I'd like to say that Tuesday, May 16th, during the next meeting, we will be talking about the growth of Francophone immigration in Canada. Are we adjourning? Yes, we are adjourned.